Downtown Montreal, days before Christmas. With a storm on the horizon, plans are in flux.
A little concerned because we're going to be traveling up north to the Laurentians on Friday.
Monique McCracken's two sons are supposed to travel here from Toronto.
We're really advising them to check it out and maybe, let's not be heroes, right? I'd rather just them be safe and sound.
People in many parts of Canada, including BC, Ontario, and Quebec, are preparing for tough winter conditions. Rain, freezing rain, snow, and high winds.
We have to be ready for the worst in order to be prepared and to serve well our citizens.
In Ottawa, the NHL postponed the Senators' game against the Detroit Red Wings due to severe weather expected to impact the area.
Where I am right now, you can see kind of what we're dealing with. This is Highway 12.
Some areas already covered in snow could get more, creating dangerous driving conditions.
They might be very unpredictable, and if it's starting off as rain and then going to a flash freeze, that could turn the highways into a skating rink.
Toronto's snow clearing equipment is ready to go, and the city has opened 3 warming centers.
This is going to be probably one of the most challenging, tricky storms that we've had to deal with because of the event that it turns over from rain to freezing rain so quickly.
That's why many schools in Ontario and Quebec will be closed Friday. British Columbians are still dealing with snow that fell earlier this week, while now also preparing for another major storm. BC Hydro expects significant outages, and officials there are urging caution.
The freezing rain is such a concern, in fact, that my ministry is strongly advising against any form of travel from tonight through Saturday.
Okay, Allison, I know you've got some advice for people on how to prepare for these treacherous conditions.
Well, here in Quebec, Hydro-Quebec says hydro crews are ready. They're prepared for major outages, and they're asking residents to be prepared too with things like flashlights and charged phones, because the next couple of days could bring such a mix of tough conditions. As one meteorologist put it, it's just everything that winter can throw at you.
Allison, thank you.
You're welcome.
The prairies are locked in a deep freeze that's been going on for days. Tonight, wind chill values could dip into the -50s, but change is coming. The frigid temperatures will be pushed out this weekend by a winter storm. Environment Canada warns blowing winds, heavy snow, and freezing rain could hit Saturday night. That's Christmas Eve in Alberta and on Christmas Day in Saskatchewan. So there's a lot going on all over the country, but as senior meteorologist Johanna Wagstaff explains, it's actually all connected, and there is one main culprit behind these potentially dangerous conditions.
One of the big concerns for both Western Canada and Central Canada over the next 24 hours is ice, but for different reasons. Out here in BC, we've had this Arctic air mass in place for over a week. This Arctic air mass actually encompasses almost half of North America right now, but it's shifting eastward. And as it gets kicked out of BC by a warm Pacific system, that rain will fall on top of the cold air that'll stay locked in through the valleys, ending up as freezing rain for potentially a significant period of time. Meanwhile, that weather bomb that's headed for the Great Lakes, that'll start things off as rain. As temperatures plummet, as the same Arctic air moves in, a flash freeze is the concern for parts of southern Ontario. Now, it's not just ice we're concerned about. Back here in BC, things are actually going to start off as snow tonight, 5 to 20 centimeters before that transition to ice. And there is concern we could be looking at extended power outages for people in the Fraser Valley and parts of the island right through to Christmas before we see things warm up to rain Christmas Day. Meanwhile, Ontario, once you get that freeze up, temperatures drop 15 degrees tomorrow. And you'll see this through Quebec as well. It's blizzard conditions we're also concerned about, with 90+ km/h winds, also easing as we head into Christmas Day. Either way, both systems really impacted by this movement of this Arctic air mass that will finally retreat as we head into early next week. Johanna Wagstaff, CBC News, North Vancouver.